Hello and welcome to the 6 a.m. news on 3FM 92.7 FM. My name is Christian Yalley. Coming up this morning, analysts urges Dr. Bawumia to offer fresh ideas beyond past records. Coming up this morning, governance experts say define roles of MMDCEs and PAs clearly in the various coordinating councils. Plus, court dismisses Action People's Party's injunction against the Akwatia by-election. We'll tell you more shortly. Now the details of the stories, and political analyst Dr. Jonathan Asante-Okyere says Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia must go beyond touting his past record and present fresh strategic ideas if he is to win voters in the 2028 race. He warned that the former vice president's current focus on middle-class messaging risks alienating the grassroots. According to him, by contrast, Kennedy Japan's populist style resonates more with the ordinary people.
It's like Dr. Bawumia appears to be speaking to solely the middle class. That for me is not good enough. When I listen to Kennedy Japan's speech, the language that he used is of a grassroots language. I was a bit surprised that the very things that he said, that he touted before the 2024 elections, that got him humiliated in such a miserable fashion, are the very things that he is holding dear. I was thinking I was going to chart a new path. Probably when it gets to the period where he would have been elected, then he could tout things of that nature. Then he would have to come up with new ideas. And that for me would be more strategic than what he just said. Yes, he's the most or the more experienced than his compeers. But the same way, he's the most disastrous as well.
And you heard there Dr. Jonathan Asante-Okyere. But in a related development, political science lecturer at the University of Ghana, Dr. Joshua Zato, says Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia missed the moment by turning his nomination exercise into a policy speech. He argued that the occasion was meant to be a simple show of readiness and unity, not a platform to tout achievement. According to him, Bawumia should have reserved his policy ideas for a more strategic time in the campaign.
Today is not a day for a policy speech. Today is not a day to demonstrate his competence of the issues, of the policies, of the ideas. Today is not a day for him to talk about all those issues. He went, he submitted a form and informed the delegates he was ready, prepared to carry the mantle and to lead them to victory in 2028 and governance in 2029. It was a very simple exercise. It was a very simple assignment, and he carried it out.
Governance expert Professor Enoch Kentry says it is more important to clearly spell out which responsibilities MMDCs can delegate to their personal assistants and which must remain with appointed officials. While he acknowledged the Greater Accra Regional Minister's concerns of heavily depending on personal assistant, Professor Kentry noted that MMDCs do so because of their demanding schedules. He explained that PAs have become integral to the assemblies, managing communications, stakeholder engagement, and even providing strategic support. Hear him now.
The regional minister have a point. And how did we get here? Because it seems that the administrative duties, government responsibilities, policy decisions, budget, quality standards, and the expectations of the people have made these MMDEs very, very busy. And that is why they have resorted into using their PAs into doing things for them. But if you listen to the minister very well, she has a good point. When we talk about regional coordinating council meetings, there's a lot that is supposed to be discussed there. And these guys who have not been on the government list as appointed by the government and responsible to the government representing them who pose some dangers if they are looking for quality decision makings and then submissions from these PAs. But can you fault them? Because if you look at the responsibilities of the PAs, the personal assistants of these MMDEs, we have about 10 of them.
That was Professor Enoch Kentry, governance expert. But in few days, voters in the Akwatia constituency would head to the polls for a by-election, one that is very crucial. But ahead of that exercise, the Institute for Democratic Governance and the Civic Forum Initiative are calling on all stakeholders to ensure peace and tranquility. In a statement issued on August 28, 2025, they say Ghana's history of violent by-elections must not be repeated in Akwatia. The two groups are urging the police to enforce zero tolerance for electoral violence, block the inflow of weapons, and protect media personnel on duty. They also want political parties, especially the NPP and NDC, to discourage busing of supporters, avoid provocative gatherings, and commit to non-violence before, during, and after the polls. But we know that the Accra High Court has dismissed an application for interlocutory injunction by the Action People's Party against the Akwatia by-election slated for September 2. The party challenged the Electoral Commission's disqualification of its candidate, David Ankoma, indicating that EC notified him on short notice to present a tax clearance certificate. Lord Eduasari report.
The Action People's Party, in a statement of claim, indicated that the candidate, David Ankoma, had completed all the requisite processes, including balloting, to determine his placement on the ballot paper until the Electoral Commission inadvertently informed him on August 17 to present his tax clearance certificate the following day. The party noted that the short notice left them with little time for compliance, since the clearance certificate is issued by the Ghana Revenue Authority at its own pace. In court on Thursday, the Action People's Party prayed for an order of interlocutory injunction halting the Akwatia by-election until the final determination of the suit challenging the EC's decision. But in his ruling, Justice Eugene Yedunante, presiding over the matter, averred that granting the application would not affect only the Commission, but candidates of other parties that were far advanced with preparations, including their finances and time management. The court also held that the financial losses claimed by the applicants could be adequately compensated with monetary damages by the Electoral Commission. Reacting to the decision of the court, founder of the Action People's Party, Kenneth Nana Kwame Asamoah, expressed his dissatisfaction.
We need to deal with the case in front of you. But talking about the other contestant that they have also spent money, that is out of my concern. My concern is the law. We need to deal with the law. Am I qualified to contest? Have I done everything possible to contest? Have I submitted all the documents to contest? That is the case before the judge. So if the judge make a ruling and concerning other political parties and republics, therefore my interest, why is my interest in the republic then?
That was a report by my colleague Lord Eduasari. But we know before we leave you that the Ghana Health Service has confirmed 22 new cases of Mpox, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 446 as of August 25, 2025. No new deaths have been recorded, with the national death toll standing at 1. Currently, there are no active admissions. And that is it for the morning news on 3FM 92.7 with me, Christian Yalley. Michael Ogbodu is standing by with the business update for you.
Hello there, good morning and welcome to the business news on Sunrise. Coming up, Ghana's unemployment rate drops to 13.6% in 2024, but youth joblessness remains a major challenge.
Employment is growing, but too many jobs remain informal and insecure. Youth unemployment are alarmingly high.
Ghanaians push technical and vocational education training as 10 million youth prepare to join labor force by 2040.
All have been deceived by white-collar job and education, letting go of skilled job.
Natural resources that we have, how to discover the natural resources that we have, and how to use it for our own development.
Plus, government seeks to borrow 6.72 billion cedis today in treasury bill auctions. I am Michael Lubodu. Details of our top stories and more coming up shortly. Please don't go anywhere. And thank you so much for your time. Straight into our top story. And the Ghana's national unemployment rate saw a modest decline in 2024, falling to 13.6% from 14.6% in 2023, according to the latest data from the Ghana Statistical Service. The new figures published in the Annual Household Income and Expenditure Survey, the fourth quarter labor statistics 2024, reflect a 1 percentage point improvement in the country's overall employment situation.
The Ghana Statistical Service report also revealed that total employment rose to 12.73 million, an increase of 1.15 million jobs compared to the previous year. However, the report highlights a significant and persistent issue of youth unemployment. The data shows that 22.5% of Ghanaians aged 15 to 35 are unemployed. Government statistician Dr. Alhassan Idrisu recounts.
Employment is growing, but too many jobs remain informal and insecure. Youth unemployment and also the NEET group, that is those that are unemployed, they are not in education and they are also not observing any training, are alarmingly high, keeping millions out of both work and education. We've seen that regional gaps are widening, with Accra and Ashanti recording both high employment and high unemployment rates, while northern regions struggle. Again, long-term unemployment is becoming entrenched, trapping thousands in prolonged joblessness.
While more jobs were created, the number of unemployed people also rose by approximately 200,000 in the fourth quarter of 2024 compared to the same period in 2023. This indicates that Ghana's labor force is growing rapidly, outpacing the economy's ability to absorb new entrants, a situation that continues to fuel unemployment, especially among the youth.
We are proposing that there's a scale-up of apprenticeships, graduate employment schemes, and also job placement services. We recommend also that government should provide affordable credit to small businesses to boost job creation, especially for women and youth. For the private sector, there will be the need to offer structured internships and entry-level roles for young people. There would also be the need to partner with universities and training institutions to align education with workplace needs.
The report also underscores the intense pressure on first-time job seekers and recent graduates who continue to struggle despite the broader gains in the labor market.
Meanwhile, some Ghanaians are urging the government to prioritize technical and vocational education training (TVET) to address unemployment.
I think governments have to do more of these TVET institutions, and then they should relate it to things that we do here in Ghana, things that the resources that we have, the natural resources that we have, how to discover the natural resources that we have and how to use it for our own development. And stop focusing on this, going to school, doing secretariatship and doing those other courses. But we should focus more on technical courses, which I think it will help us, and even all the youth will be skilled.
This particular government is already working around that, because I can see across almost half of the regions in the country, there is this national apprenticeship program that is ongoing.
We all have been deceived by white-collar job and education, letting go of skilled job, business entrepreneurship. We should focus more on vocational school, looking at our local businessmen. Government should invest in them for their business to grow. They can employ more of the graduates coming up.
Now, those were some Ghanaians urging technical and vocational education training push as 10 million youth prepare to join labor force by 2040. Government is set to borrow a significant amount from the domestic market with a planned issuance of 6.72 billion cedis in treasury bills today. This is government's latest effort to manage liquidity and refinance maturing debt obligations through short-term domestic borrowing. There is more in this report.
The move follows a recent auction where government fell short of its borrowing target. It raised 5.75 billion cedis against a target of 6.42 billion cedis, resulting in a shortfall of 673 million cedis. The average yield on the previous auction was approximately 12%. Government is seeking to raise 6.72 billion cedis on Friday, August 29 in Treasury bill auction through the 91, 182 and 364 day bills. The continuous reliance on the Treasury bill market underscores government strategy to secure financing, especially with limited access to international capital markets. Treasury bills, which are debt instruments with maturities of 1 year or less, have become a key tool for the government to meet its financial obligations.
That was a 3 Business News Desk report. Now, as the Bank of Ghana prepares to introduce Islamic banking, also known as non-interest banking, the National Banking College says it will roll out specialized training programs to equip professionals in the sector. The central bank has been exploring Islamic finance as an alternative funding model to help address Ghana's high cost of borrowing. Speaking to 3 Business on the sidelines of the college's 30th anniversary and annual general meeting, Principal Gloria Darlene Korte said the institution is taking proactive steps to support the transition.
If you have listened to the governor of the Bank of Ghana, it is one of the areas that the central bank is actually looking at. And so we won't wait for it to start in full before we begin looking in that direction. And so, yes, we are looking at Islamic banking. We are doing our research and putting our works together. And hopefully from next year, we will begin to bring that knowledge also to our banks. Because as you know, most of our banks, in fact, all our banks, nobody is into Islamic banking at this point in time. And so we are just moving in tandem with the vision and the vision of the governor of the central bank, and that's exactly what we are doing. So we intend to move into that space in terms of training from next year going forward.
So that's Principal of the National Banking College, Gloria Darlene Korte. We'll turn our attention now to the currency and the commodities market and bring you updates.
On the interbank foreign exchange markets, the dollar is selling at 11 cedis 26 pence worth. It gained 21 pence worth. The British pound is selling at 15 cedis 21 pence worth. It gained 22 pence worth. The euro is selling at 13 cedis 14 pence worth. It also gained 31 pence worth. However, be guided that these figures could be higher at a forex bureau near you. On the global commodities markets, Brent crude is trading at $68.33 per barrel. Gold is trading at $3,418 per ounce, up by $20. Cocoa is trading at $7,813 per ton, down by $34.
And those were updates from the currency and the commodities market, bringing an end to the business news on Sunrise. For more business stories, please visit our website. It's 3news.com/business. I am Michael Obodu. Thank you for listening. As always, please stay safe.